Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash, the only channel where the glossy brochure talk gets kicked to the curb, and what you get is the raw, unfiltered truth from behind the wheel. If you're new here, buckle up. We're not here to sweet talk the Badger Reside showroom specs. We're here to give you the kind of review you'd only get from someone who actually drives the car and tells it like it is. Today, we're talking about the 2026 Lexus UX, a subcompact luxury SUV that's been trying to punch above its weight class since it first rolled out. But the question is, has Lexus finally given the UX some real muscle and maturity for 2026? Or is it still more about looks than substance? Exterior. Let's start with the first impression of the exterior. Lexus hasn't drastically reinvented the UX for 2026. But they've sharpened it just enough to keep things fresh. The front end still sports that signature spindle grille, though it's slightly more refined, less aggressive, and better integrated with the overall design. It's like Lexus finally realized that screaming in your face isn't always luxury. The daytime running lights are sleeker now, slicing through the headlamp cluster like a katana. There's also a more sculpted bumper that brings a sense of precision to the face and still says "I'm premium," but without trying too hard. Depending on the trim, you'll get either matte black or body-colored accents, and Lexus is finally offering more expressive paint options, not just 50 shades of gray. Move over to the side profile, and this is where the UX starts to really play its cards. It's still compact, let's be real. This isn't a crossover that tries to act like a mid-size SUV, but it's got confidence. The 2026 model brings in subtle tweaks to the fender flares, a cleaner line running from the A-pillar to the rear taillights, and slightly beefier wheel options, up to 19 inches now. The proportions are still very much urban-focused, but there's a maturity here that earlier models lacked. It's not trying to be flashy, it's trying to be tasteful, and honestly, it works. Swing around to the back and Lexus has cleaned things up nicely. The full-width headlight bar is more refined, it's no longer just a gimmick. It now has a slight 3D effect that makes it pop at night without being over the top. The UX badge is now spelled out in clean typography across the liftgate, and the rear bumper has been reshaped for a more grounded stance. No fake exhaust tips, thank God. Just a clean, premium look with a slightly sportier posture than previous years. It still whispers luxury more than it shouts it, and for this segment, that's actually a smart move. Interior. Step inside, and here's where Lexus still flexes its core strength, build quality and craftsmanship. The 2026 UX has one of the best interiors in its class, no question. Every surface feels deliberate, from the stitched dashboard to the soft touch door panels. The design language is classic Lexus, asymmetric lines, layered materials, and a mix of tech and tactile buttons. The infotainment setup now uses the new Lexus interface system with the standard 12.3-inch touchscreen, finally ditching the old, clunky touchpad. It's snappy, intuitive, and supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto right out of the gate. About time. The digital gauge cluster is crisp, customizable, and doesn't try to imitate a spaceship. It just gives you what you need, clean and easy to read. The seats, even on the base trim, are excellent, firm but comfortable, with enough bolstering to keep you in place without squeezing your kidneys. Rear seat space is still tight, let's not kid ourselves, this is a subcompact. If you're over 6 feet and sitting in the back, you're gonna feel it, but for urban commuters or small families, it's more than manageable. Now, when it comes to performance, this is where opinions might start to split. The 2026 UX comes in two flavors: the UX 300 hours, which is a hybrid, and the UX 300e, which is fully electric. Let's talk hybrid first. The 300 hours uses a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder engine paired with Lexus' latest hybrid tech, now producing around 196 horsepower, a small bump over the previous version. It's still not going to throw you back in your seat, but acceleration feels smoother and more responsive thanks to updates and diff tuning. City driving, smooth as silk. Highway overtaking, still needs a little planning, but it's definitely better than before. It's also incredibly efficient. Lexus is claiming over 42 miles per gallon combined, and based on a real-world test, that's not far off. Now, The fully electric UX 300D. This one's had a bit more evolution. It now comes with a larger 72.8 kWh battery, which Lexus claims will get you up to 275 miles of range. Real-world figure, closer to 248-250 if you're driving normally, which isn't bad for a city-focused EV. The 201 horsepower electric motor delivers instant torque, and the ride is whisper quiet. However, don't expect Tesla-like acceleration. A 0 to 60 is in the mid-7s, but it's composed, smooth, and very Lexus in how it handles speed gracefully, without fuss. One area where the UX still needs improvement: driving dynamics. It's stable, it's quiet, and it's comfortable, but it's not engaging. The steering is light and accurate, but feedback is minimal. Body roll is controlled, but you won't be taking corners for fun. This is a commuter's crossover, not a driver's toy, and honestly, that's fine. It knows its purpose and sticks to it. Let's talk pricing. The 2026 Lexus UX 300 hours starts at around $37,500 and can creep into the low $40,000 range with F-Sport trims and options. The fully electric UX 300 is a bit more expensive, starting around $43,000 and going up to $47,000 fully loaded. For what you get: the Lexus badge, quality build, hybrid or tech, and an interior that feels more expensive than it is. That pricing is actually reasonable. It undercuts German rivals like the BMW X1 or Audi Q3 in some configurations, while offering better reliability and real-world efficiency. But if you're looking for raw power or the latest flashy features, you may feel like it's a step behind. So, what's the final verdict? The 2026 Lexus UX isn't a revolution, but it is a smart evolution. It's finally found its rhythm: a small luxury crossover that leans into what Lexus does best: comfort, refinement, and reliability. It's still not the most spacious, it's still not the most powerful, and it definitely won't thrill you behind the wheel. But if you want a car that makes your daily drive smoother, classier, and more relaxing, this might just be your lane. And that's it for today's deep dive. If you enjoyed the no fluff, no sugar review and want more real-world breakdowns like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment below if you think the UX finally deserves respect, or if you think it's still stuck in luxury light mode. Until next time, this is Car Flash, where we don't do brochure talk, we do truth, one drive at a time.